Welcome back, everybody, to Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Chat Network. I'm your host, Nico, and joining with me today, as always, and in person, live in person with me in the studio is my co-host, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And we are recording this post-con, Chris's first con experience. So stick around. After we talk about this week's books, we're going to be talking about some of the stuff that happened at the con and show off some of our, our hauls from the con, things we picked up at the con. And it was a lot of fun. So make sure to stick around if you do want to hear about Chris's first con experience. I don't know, even at this point, over 10th experience probably at a con. So always a good time. But yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the comic solicitations for Marvel for the month of November 2024 and tell you what we're going to be looking forward to picking up for that. So lots of great stuff to talk about here today. And like I said, he's in person. We're live together. It's been a while since we've done one of these. It's been a busy summer for both of us. So cheers, first and foremost. Yeah, cheers, Chris. All right, so
let's talk comics.
Talk some comics. Okay, and as always, guys, a reminder: like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And make sure if you did follow us on Late Night Collectors Community, you follow us now on the Late Night Chat Network. And today we're going to be talking about the comics that came out for the August of 21st, 2024. And spoiler warning. There you go. I had to get those out there first. I know you want to talk some comics.
I thought we did the cheers.
No, I just wanted to give a cheers, and then I want to do a cheers again. Here we go. Cheers again. Now.
All right. Cheers, guys. Let's talk comics.
What the hell? We get together in person, you don't know what's going on. We're tired, guys. We've been
flipping the script,
walking around for 2 days. No, I know. Just playing around. All right, here we go. First off, up here on the docket. Also, because we've been at the con the last couple of days, didn't really have as much time to read all of the books we wanted to this week, and didn't have time to prepare all of the art that I wanted to this week for the show. So, we'll have some art, some stuff will be discussed. So just, stay tuned because we'll have to catch up on some other things later. But we have plenty to talk about this episode other than the book. So, yeah. So here we go. Wolverine's Revenge #1. Huge release this week, though. Me and Chris both got the red band edition. Of course, he's staying true to keeping it in the bag there.
And it's sealed.
Yeah. I think I saw some selling at the con for upwards of I don't know how much money today.
Sealed ones, open ones. They were in the dollar bin, I saw.
But we don't have the art for this, unfortunately. It's some great Greg Capullo art. Maybe when Chris lets you know what he thought about this, I'll try to show off some pages. Why don't you let us know what you thought of this, Chris?
Yeah, it's I was a little worried when I first saw some previews of this, in the beginning of Wolverine in the Savage Land. I think he's on vacation there, and he's hanging out with these zebra people, and I guess there's a T-Rex that's tracking him down. And I think, oh man, this is just gonna be a bunch of story with him kind of floating around in the woods here, but it takes a twist pretty quick. Nick Fury shows up.
Love that. Love that. Yeah.
And
Dum Duggan, the rest of Shield is there.
There's a whole crew there. And I guess a lot of big things have been going on in the world since Logan started his vacation. Supposedly, I think this takes place after some asteroid M has been coming into the detonated over Quebec of all places, and I guess North America is in the dark,
under siege. Yeah,
and pretty much Shield is out of commission. All the helicarriers that they had going on, they've all been dumped, except for the ones. There's 3 of them. I think Nick Fury and a couple other ones. They were out in Australia trying to take care of business. But either way, they get into the story here. They're trying to go to, was it Russia to pick up
there's
sort of some cold fusion reactor.
This is Russia basically versus the North America essentially in this story, which is interesting. They do have a straight up Russian villain in this, right?
Yeah, well, I guess it's not Russia that has it. The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Right, but Colossus, who is Russian, is working with them, so there is definitely a Russian or Russia are the bad guys type of aspect to this.
Well, I know for the bad guys, there's just guys that have the stuff that the West needs.
Right.
And Colossus basically says, "Hey, this is ours. What do you do? Do you think
you're right?
You need it?
You're right. They're not straight up the bad guys, but there is like a whole Russian kind of like I think it's the Colossus part of it." Him being Russian, that kind of like threw me for a loop there. I'm like, is it them versus the Russians? I thought for a second here, right? So
the have versus the have nots.
Right.
North America has not. But yeah, they freaking, you got Captain America and Winter Soldier in this one here. And they're all sort of this part of this strike team to try and get this reactor out of the hands of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. and all hell breaks loose. They don't fare so well. They all end up with some bombs strapped to their chest. And I think, don't they give them a chance to, hey, just leave? We keep this here, and we won't set these bombs
and
off.
this is Captain America and Winter Soldier that are captured with Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then when they do start to walk away, they pulled like a Suicide Squad-esque, we've buried a bomb inside of your body. That Deadpool is the one that concocted this whole move. And even with Wolverine, they mentioned about his healing factor, the way it healed up. They were surprised they were able to get something under his rib cage, which he was able to pull off and put a bomb underneath his chest. And then when Captain America and Winter Soldier go to walk away, they knew that they were gonna, they weren't gonna just lay down and fucking take this. And
well, doesn't Wolverine just say, hey guys, take off, I'll take care of this? Hopefully they thought they'd be out of range before these bombs go off, but wrong.
Wolverine and Captain America and Winter Soldier get taken out in this comic. They get blown up, so this is definitely an out of continuity tale here. They get killed, and then Wolverine gets blown up, and then as they walk away, which me and Chris had talked about, we're kind of like a little on the fence about whether or not we like that, because like the fact that it felt like they thought they killed Wolverine at the end of this by blowing him up with Deadpool standing there doesn't make any sense, unless they just thought like, hey, we took care of him for now, let's get out of here. Maybe that's what they thought. Anyways, you see Wolverine like basically like coming back together, and he's just like a sloppy, wet mess of like bone and like, you know what I mean? Like
not so happy.
Yeah. And just pissed off, hence the name Wolverine Revenge of this series. And now he's gonna be basically, it's like a Taken type of mission where he's gonna have to go and take John Wick style, go and kill all the bad guys now, right? Because it's Omega Red. It is Deadpool. Yeah. As Omega Red, I think, is also Russian, isn't he? Yeah. Okay. And I mean, obviously, Deadpool is a merc, which is nice because this isn't joke. Well, he's jokey, but this is like merc Deadpool, like kind of like the old school Deadpool, like straight up, like not like anti-hero Deadpool where he's kind of like a good guy, where this is straight up like, hey, listen, I got hired, so this is the job, right? Like, which I kind of like the Hickman's version of him in this, but this is Hickman and Capullo, so I mean, it's a great team. I actually, the few times that Hickman has written Wolverine, I've really enjoyed his like Wolverine. So throughout some of the X-Men stuff he did, and like where he had the chance to write him. So, and this is kind of like, this is kind of like an Elseworlds type of story.
It's a fun place to be.
Yeah. And Capullo art. The first page, you get Wolverine walking around on back of a Triceratops. So, I mean, like, what more do you want? Like, it's some great Capullo. It's great. And it's been a while since we've seen Capullo. Also, this is Capullo at Marvel, which is like, he's been at DC forever now. I don't think he's been at Marvel since like back in the day, really, honestly. Like, he's been doing some covers for them recently, but yeah, so this was cool. I really enjoyed this, but I don't think it's like, it didn't like blow me away in terms of the story of this first one, but like for building, like by the end, I was like, I need to know what happens next though, which is a compliment, right? Yeah. So what'd you give this?
Easy 4.
Yeah, 4, exactly. 4 out of 5 for me this week. Yeah, good stuff. All right, next up we got Nightwing 117, the penultimate issue, Chris, the second last issue in this Tom Taylor run.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the end of this.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Okay, what'd you think? This guy, I think I do have the art for this one, thankfully.
All right. Come on. What's this baloney that he can't jump still? Like, get over it, pal.
He's been poisoned. It's been confirmed now. It's not like
freaking poison makes you can't jump.
It's better than before. Well, how about like the fear toxin type stuff that Scarecrow died? I'm just saying it's similar type of stuff. They said this.
You believe it? I don't.
Go on.
But anyways, I guess here he's still trying to conquer his fear of jumping. And what does he do to conquer it? He just jumps, doesn't he?
Yes, at the end, Deadman leaves them stranded on the side of a mountain, and he sits there all night, and he rethinks where he originally got his trauma from the circus, and he kind of reevaluates everything. And then he comes to the conclusion, spoilers, everybody, once again, that it was him that was supposed to be the one that died originally in Haley's circus. It was not supposed to be a Tony Zuko thing or whatever, the guys that were made to go and kill it, that ended up killing his parents. Turns out that it wasn't his parents that were supposed to die, but he was supposed to be the first one to jump, even though he may not have been the target. Like, he was the one that was supposed to be the Well, I guess he was supposed to be the target. I don't know. Even so, he was usually the one that jumped first. But for whatever reason, because this was during the time where he was still having, I guess, trouble like jumping or whatever, he was supposed to jump first that night. But for whatever reason that night, he didn't jump. His parents jumped. They ended up dying. Therefore, he should have been the one that died. And that was this big revelation at the end of this issue, which I think is kind of, I say what you will on the second last issue of a run to kind of slip that in and try to change maybe the history of the character in that sense. You can hate it, you can love it. I think it's one of those you're gonna feel one way or the other about it, right? But it is what it is. But I still thought this was a good issue. You dislike this, or
no? I don't mind. It's
you just think it's hokey that he can't jump. Okay,
well, I think it's hokey, and like for the same reason there, where with his history there, and they're freaking pulling a whole bunch of baloney out of this here, just kind of rewrite his history. When just let this history be. This history is good enough the way it was, and you can find anything else to write about.
I agree. I don't think it was necessary. Am I upset by it? Not really. It doesn't really change too much, honestly. Like, I mean, yeah, he has this whole moment here where he has to come to terms with like he may have been the one to die in that scenario and he wasn't. But think about all the things he's been able to do, and you know what I mean, people he was been able to help as a result of this. And in a way, it kind of amplified his trauma in more of a Batman. Not that he already had it because his parents died in a circus. We already know this. I don't think it changes anything.
Well, who knows? Maybe if he jumped first and he died, his parents would have become superheroes.
I don't think it changes much. I think it's more about he had to come to terms with this realization to snap out of whatever was affecting him in this story with his fear of jumping there. Therefore, I think it helped him, but I don't think it's going to change the character moving forward. But it is like a Batman-esque type of scenario where like Batman didn't die, his parents died, right? Like, and the whole reason there's that whole thing about, he wanted to go see the movie that night. He's the one they went down that alleyway with him. So like, if it wasn't for that, they would have they wouldn't have died, right? So it's similar in that sense. But is it necessary? No, I agree with you. It isn't necessary. I don't think it's a huge change, though, quite frankly. Like, I don't think it changes who Nightwing is. It's just what helped him overcome. I really like Deadman in this, though. Deadman was pretty great. Like, I liked his whole.
Yeah, like it's a good story.
Yeah, the art was good. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I get where you're coming from, though, if you didn't love that choice. It's specifically that choice of changing it, though, right? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so otherwise, I think this is good. I mean, we have one issue to go. I love Bruce's Nightwing. That was great. I wish we had a little bit more time with Bruce's Nightwing, quite frankly, because
there are a few lines he goes, I quipped a couple times.
Yeah, he's like, I'm proud of you. Or something. He's like, good job. Yeah. He's like, how was it? He's like, he's not quippy, yes, we know. That's right. That was a good line. There were some funny lines. Tom Taylor, you can still pull off some good lines like that. Like he knows these characters well. I am looking forward to him on Detective, and I hope he has a way of bringing Nightwing sometimes over into that book, because I do think he does a good Nightwing. Honestly, I think this has been a great run still, and he's going to solve the case next issue. He's going to take down Heartless. What else is there to happen, right? I mean, So I think it's been a good run overall. It had its low points, I will say, the pirate arc.
Yeah, I think it's been a great run, and the last 10, 15 issues got hijacked by just Beast Wars and freaking Night Terrors, and he just got his hands tied.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, he basically jumps finally with the parachute.
Oh, how nice.
Goes and takes out all those goons, and yeah, there you go. See what happens next issue.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, did you say what you gave this, and what did you give?
I got a 3.75 though.
Fuck. I mean, I was gonna give it that, but now like I feel like I praised it more than you did. So I think
I don't say it's bad. I just don't like it.
One of these days I'll understand your rating.
No, it's a good story.
You're being objective. You're being an objective reviewer. Look at you. Great job. I mean, I'm the one who's bad at doing it. I would give it, I'll give it a 3.75 too. Verging on a 4, but I 3.75 out of 5. I want to give this up. You know what? The last issue was really good, actually. This one was just okay. I felt like it was good, but not as good as the last one. I think he'll stick the landing with the next one, though. I stick the landing, right?
Yeah,
that he's jumped from that. All right. Talking about not sticking the landing, Gotham City Sirens number 3. Great covers though I got out of this. I'm happy for that.
Nice.
So there you go. There's that one. Okay, Chris. So what'd you think of this? So I think I got art for this too. Hold up. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we don't need art for this one.
Actually, the artist from the first issue is back this issue. It's not the artist from
Yeah.
the second issue, which was worse in my
Well,
opinion.
I guess he was inspired by the artist from the second issue. He goes, oh, that's all I need to do. Great. I'll just phone this one in too then. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the beginning about I don't know, this whatever they're planning on doing. I guess they're out in some ranch and they got all the rich people there and they're hunting. I know all the people that drink that XO punchline stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's almost like a bit of a Westworld there they're building up because a lot of those animals are robots and, you know, they're trying to take it easy.
Balls. Yeah.
And I don't know. What are they? They got the
They're trying to sweat them out here so they can drink the XO punch on shit.
Why you just plug their nose and you pour it down their throat? That's how it works. You don't got to freaking sweat them out in this room here. And then, well, I did like the stuff with that with the bunny there. I guess she sort of breaks the spell somehow, and there's a clone of the dumb bunny. It just sort of reminds me of the Hulk, but it's a bunny rabbit, so that's kind of fun.
Yes. The one that was in the
I
first
guess there are
issue.
some redeeming points to this, but once again, I think this should have been a whole lot better, and it's not.
It wasn't good. One more issue to go of this weekly event. I'm happy you avoided buying this one. I bought into it hoping it was going to be a similar vibe to Exterminators, whatever that book was that they did. At least the writer did. It's not the same artist because that would have been great if he returned for this one. Honestly, at least Carlos Gomez if he drew this one, but unfortunately he did not. And as I mentioned, this has not been great throughout. First issue gave some hope, but the subsequent weeks not so good. So yeah, I don't really have too much to add to that I didn't mention last week. Same stuff. I think I'm happy to get Matteo Lolli back on art, which was the artist from the first issue. It was better than the last issue, I'll say that much. But this also did look rushed in places. I'm with Chris in that regard. I do think it's not his best, or it's not his best stuff. And the story is just nonsense. So unfortunately, I got to give this a 3 out of 5.
I'll still give it a 3.5. I'll give it a bump up from what we from the last week.
Okay, Chris, you got Superman 17 here up next. I think I got the art for this one. Yeah, the only art I got is for some DC books here this week. So here you go, Superman 17, which is I missed out on reading this one. I read the last one, which was this is another Zatanna issue, the conclusion possibly of that, or Absolute Power tie-in, or
it's another Absolute Power tie-in. I might have to see some of the. Oops, where is it? There we go.
This is another story with continuing the story of Zatanna and him from last issue, I recall.
Yeah, I kind of read this quick here. So were they? Yeah, maybe I gotta flash through a few of these. I should maybe refresh my memory here. Oh yeah, I figured Lois with the what's that, the Lex suit or something. And then it kind of just reminds you a lot of stuff that's going on with Lex Luthor not being remembering what's going on. And I think Superman and Zatanna, they're going through some maze or something like that. And I don't know, wasn't the most memorable book, I'll say that, but it was a decent looking book. And it is pushing that Absolute tie-in storyline.
Yeah.
I forget what the big spoiler was at the end, which basically what gets you to where they're going. Where did they go? They go to some bar here. I forget what this is. Some underworld bar.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of different types of magic characters there, it looked like. And
then Superman's kind of calling him out. Look, he goes, "Oh, if you guys can do this stuff, you should be helping." And
because this whole event, they've been looking for aid from people because some of them have lost their powers and they're kind of like, they're in hiding, some of them.
And then I think they come up with, a pretty reasonable response. And
not the most memorable issue, it sounds like.
Not really.
It looks good though.
It was a good looking comic. And like I say, that's what I forgot. At the end, they got to make a deal with the devil there. And supposedly this is supposed to be, from what I read from other tiles, this could be reminiscent of One More Day, because this is this guy's like the Mephisto of
it's Neron. It's his Raven's father. isn't it?
No, it's Trigon.
Trigon, yeah. Sorry, this is one of the other guy. This is one of the other demons, though. He's been with Trigon before. This guy. That's why I thought of him. Okay, you're right. That is Trigon.
Yeah, supposedly they got to make a deal with the devil here, and everybody's a little worried about what this deal is going to be.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, I hope it's not like a reset like that. Oh boy.
Who knows?
Yeah, knowing DC and that reset button, then it's very possible. All right, what'd you give this then?
I'll give it a 3.75, though. I know I didn't really talk this one up too much, but it was a good-looking comic, and there were some good things going on in there.
Okay, cool. Next up, we got Nightclub 2, number 1.
Okay, yep. I just read this one, too, online. I did read the first Nightclub, so it kind of picks up with the crew there. There's the 3 vampires, and I think the main vampire and his and the girl vampire, they've been kind of close together, dating, let's say, and the 3rd vampire,
they tried to kill him at the end of the first miniseries. They thought he was dead or something. Remember, like,
yeah, but he's all back in business.
He's back and he's against them now. Remember, he got jealous because they're
not so much.
He had a crush on her, and then like they ended up together at the end, and they thought he had died, and now he's back and he's like a bad guy now, right? Essentially, like he's on the outs. They're on the outs.
Yeah, they're on the outs, but he's not really a bad guy now. So.
Okay, I didn't read this, by the way, but yeah.
So the 2 vampires, they're still trying to go on YouTube or whatever, and kind of fight crime, and the police are telling me, hey guys, you can't be doing this stuff. I think like the big bad villain is some Rufus T or something, some gang leader, and they're trying to track him down. And then you find out what the 3rd vampire has been up to. He's been hanging out with the jocks, using his vampire powers to be like a superstar basketball player.
Okay,
so he's now dating like the most desirable girl in the school,
right?
And the jocks are all sort of bowing down to him because he's like a superstar basketball player.
Plus, he pushed them around before. Yeah, too. He was getting picked on, and then he was just like,
now he's like the alpha of the group,
head honcho,
And then I think they do kind of get together, all 3 of them, and try and talk it out. It's like, I guess months have gone by. It's like, this is the way it is. You don't.
Yeah, because this is also post Big Game where he almost killed all these characters. In that, right? Nemesis, I think, almost killed all of them in Big Game, but here they are all alive, right? Because remember, there was that whole part where it looked like he killed the other 2 characters that weren't dead as of yet. Okay.
But like I think near the end there, I think that big kid was starting his own vampire group or something, but there's no mention of that in this one.
Okay.
And supposedly the gang leader, he needs to get money from one of the 3rd vampire's friends, and then I guess the vampire that's on the outs,
right?
He kind of sets them straight, and that gets them in the crosshairs of the same gang leader that the other 2 are trying to chase down. And with I guess his chutzpah, he sort of endears himself to the gang leader, and that gang leader goes, "Hey, you kid, you got something I can use here." So it looks like they may be teaming up.
Right.
And, those other 2 vampires are still on track. So it's good stuff. Just kind of good stories of what's going on, in this world. And I'd give it a 3.75.
Okay, nice. So I look forward to checking this out before the next episode, before the next second issue comes out. Because I don't think it's like one of his best books that Mark Millar has put out over the last couple of years that we've talked about. Like, it's not Nemesis or Big Game, but like it was still enjoyable. I did enjoy reading it the first series. So okay, so next up we got excuse me, burping. Namor number 2. And I got this awesome P. Craig Russell variant cover here. Really love this cover. Great looking stuff. And he's not somebody that does a lot of variant covers, so that was really cool to see him. Unfortunately I don't have the art on this one either. I like the art. Art's good. I mean, like it's okay. Like it's not my favorite artist, but it's serviceable to the book. And I think he does a good job. The 2 different artists that he has on this book, because he does the flashbacks to him as a kid in this. Again, it doesn't take up majority of the story, though. I think the way these are oversized issues, and the way, just like the Punisher was, but whatever the parts that he does with him in the past is not as bad as like the Punisher was. It actually complements the story quite well. It keeps showing bad things that happened to him in the past and how he reacted to them and how he was a dick even then and how he always had a anger issue, it seemed like. But then there was also a lot of times he lashed out. Like he's basically just a spoiled, like, rich kid essentially lashing out because, like, he is the son of, like, he's supposed to be the king of Atlantis, and there's all these scenarios that he gets put in his youth that he reacts badly as a result of having these privileges. And in this issue, it talks about this girl that he used to know when he was younger that tried to show him another side of the sea, like where the poor people are, like where how the other half lives essentially. And she was a girl that he like seemed like he had feelings for, and that he was friends with. And she showed him stuff that he had never experienced in terms of like seeing how the rest of the kingdom lived. And up to that point, like he couldn't trust anybody in like that, like because he thought everybody, because how some people feel like they're being taken advantage of their status and everything. So, but then it turns out like it seems like she was just trying to trick him into seeing certain stuff so she could make him basically try to change things for the better for her people, because clearly they weren't getting the support that they needed from the from the kingdom, or from the people that run stuff, or his family. So like knowing that he was going to be the next in line to be king, she was trying to kind of pull his favor, try to get some favorability from him from being a friend of his. So at the end, when he finds that out, he's kind of like, oh, I can't even trust you anymore. Like you were just like everybody else kind of thing. So it's actually every issue where he has these flashbacks, it actually does add some very good character moments, I feel like. And then you kind of compare that to what's going on now. And it's almost like you have a better understanding of why he's such an asshole, possibly. Right. So like he's actually balancing it quite well. But the part that I loved in this issue that I was telling Chris the other day here when we went to the con is that there's this great scene where now that he's gone back to the ocean to contest everybody now that has taken over, that he's no longer king. And he doesn't want to be king again, but it's in such disarray because everyone's fighting for the crown right now. Like he was asked to come up back and help them. He goes and meets up with Atuma, a longtime character and a villain of Namor's. And he walks up to him and he's got his whole crew there and stuff. And he's like, I hereby invoke the right of ritual combat. I demand the Crimson Swim. And then all the people are like, oh, the Crimson Swim, and all those people. And he's like, whatever. He's like, you want to face me the Crimson Swim? Fine, we'll do it. Because then he's like, but he's kind of like upset about it, clearly, because he's like, I can't believe this guy called out the Crimson Swim, right? He's contesting my king, me being king. And then the Crimson Swim is this thing where they fight. They get drunk in the sea and fight, essentially. And whoever bests the other person in combat while drinking like these large pouches of wine and getting hammered wins. It's just so much fun. Like Jason Aaron, like it's such a Jason Aaron, I feel like, thing to write. But like just seeing them fight in the sea and seeing all the wine like swirl around them as they're fighting and they're getting drunk and they're fighting was just a really fun scene. And it's just really well written. That with the flashback scenes as well, which add a lot of character to Namor in this story. 2 issues in, and I think it's only an 8-issue miniseries. I'm just really enjoying this so far. It's really good. It's actually better than I expected to be, despite me liking Jason Aaron as a writer. In recent years, I haven't connected with everything he's written, but this is actually really, really good so far. So I give this a 4.5 out of 5 this week. Great stuff. You got to catch up on this. I think you would enjoy it. It is good stuff. And then you got Dark Knights of Steel All Winter #2. So, in the first issue of this, like it was all black and white. And then the last panel, they showed a kid that we thought maybe he was in all green. We didn't know who he was, who he's supposed to be. The writer apparently is taking this very literally. He literally is a character that's for whatever reason is like, I don't know, some sort of magic character who is in color. Well, the land that they're living in with all these Vikings has been cursed to be all this black and white kind of like color. And the reason that this woman was bringing him around is to basically bring hopefully like the color back to their lands. So they're taking it very quite literally. Like he's playing with the comic book medium in a way where it's just like, oh, look at this character versus all this black and white characters, and he's actually has a chance to like restoring this land into like its full glory of being in color again, essentially, because they're like living in this realm of like, I don't know if it's because it's been cursed or something. It's referred to in this issue, like Deathstroke's talking about it. And like, for whatever reason, this area that they're in, and this might even take place, I don't know if this is taking place at the same time Dark Knights of Steel, because that's medieval times. This is like Vikings. I don't know if that's like, if it's before or like where does that line up in terms of?
It's after, because they
It's
do. I think
after?
they did reference the war.
Okay.
And it's just like in a different land.
Here's the thing. This isn't being written by Tom Taylor. He's writing the backups in these issues. It's being written by Jay Kristoff, who writes prose for the most part. The art's great on this series, but it just does not feel like it's in line with the original Dark Steel Knights of Steel series. And therefore, I'm out after this issue. I think I've pre-ordered one more issue. It's a 6-issue miniseries, but I might continue reading it, but I'm not going to pick up any more physical issues just because I like the first issue, but I wasn't sure. And with this issue, I'm just like, yeah, this is not what I like from this story, what's going on in here. I like the Viking setting. I like the art, but it just feels too far removed from the first original Dark Knights of Steel 12-issue series. It feels like it's a side story entirely. Tom Taylor isn't even writing this one. Therefore, I'm going to wait for them to announce the next chapter of Dark Knights of Steel. I don't think this is it for me. Like, I'm not, I might continue reading it because maybe there's going to be some characters that pop up in Dark Knights of Steel, but this is just like, too lit. Like, I don't know. I didn't like this whole thing about the kid being some like some special kid that they don't know what's going on with them. And the fact that they're all in gray and white, quite literally, I thought that was just an art choice. I had no idea that was what they meant in the first issue. And now like with this issue, I'm just like, oh, they literally mean that this is how they are. And this kid, that's why he's in color. So that I'm just like, yeah, I don't really dig this. So I think I'm out on the story for now, but at least picking up the issues. Deathstroke basically kills his daughter in this issue in combat, it looks like, or she looks like she's about to die, but she's alive, but he messes her up really bad because she was sent to basically take Deathstroke out. And Deathstroke is aiding the woman that was carrying around this kid, who I don't even know which character this kid's supposed to be based on. He seems to have like Green Lantern powers here, as you can see, but again, I don't even know the connection of how like Tom Taylor's Dark Knights of Steel, we're like, oh, there's the Joker of this book. There's this one. There's that one. Here's the Constantine. This is very unclear other than Deathstroke and his daughter here. I have no idea who anybody else is in this book. And I don't know who this character is supposed to be. Maybe it's just lost on me. I don't know. Anyways, this backup by Tom Taylor and this other artist, I forgot his name, is really good though. This is the highlight actually of the book for me, is the backup to Tom Taylor. So I hope that gets collected later on. I give this a 3.25. It's not bad. It definitely has some good qualities, but I can't get with it as a story. Next up, I get Fury number 4. This was all right. I love Garth Ennis. Love his Fury miniseries. I've enjoyed this series so far. This issue in particular, maybe the series as a whole, though, a bit underwhelming. It's kind of leaning more into like more of like the political relationships, I feel like, between like the Vietnamese people and like the American government in this story. And it's kind of talking more about that kind of stuff. And in this issue, there's not a lot of action. It's a lot of political intrigue type stuff, and like they're sneaking in there, and like fear, and she's still leading Frank Castle behind enemy lines right now to save Nick Fury. But it's just a very slow story that's being told. Again, not bad, but it's just like compared to all the other Fury series that Garth Ennis has written, this is probably my least favorite so far. And that's not to say that it's terrible, but it's just still, it's, unless they really amp it up these last couple of issues. And I feel like they need to, because every issue's had like some kind of action scene and some like horrific kind of like bloody moment. And same thing in this one. You do get a couple of kills in this issue, but for the most part, it's like a very restrained, let's say, like story that he's telling here. It's not a lot of like, it's not like Frank Castle and the war is coming through and just gunning down a bunch of people. This is like, they're being tactical and stuff like that in this one. So it's just maybe not the the speed of the story I was looking for, like compared to some of his other Nick Fury stuff. So I give this a 3.5 out of 5. And then lastly, we got Destro number 3. I know you didn't end up reading this one here this week in time, Chris. Likewise, this is probably one of my least favorite G.I. Joe miniseries that we've gotten so far. It's okay. I mean, in this issue, we again see Deathstroke face off against another person. That's part of another faction, a group of people that he's up against, because he's representing Mars, and it looks like he gets apprehended in this issue. And the interesting thing I will say, at the end of this issue, after he gets apprehended or whatever during this mission, he ends up meeting with General Flag from G.I. Joe. So that's him sitting there talking to General Flag, which is the reveal at the end of this issue. And it looks like General Flag is playing ball with him in terms of like they're in somewhat of cahoots, because guess what? Mars supplies weapons to the United States government in some regards. It's kind of like a Tony Stark kind of Iron Man type of like scenario.
I sell weapons.
Or any of these type of stories where there's a weapons manufacturer and there's a war going on. And guess what? He tells him, I hear there's a war coming on soon, which is them against the machines. He's like, so if you want my weapons, we should play ball. So I thought that was pretty good at the end of this issue. But like all the other stuff, I don't really care too much about it. It's more so I'm just not so interested in it then it's bad. But the General Flag thing, even I know that character. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool that he showed up at the end there to kind of connect further this G.I. Joe stuff. So I will give this a 3.5 out of 5 because of that. I liked that. Yeah. All right, Chris, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 30, which I literally had to read on the con floor today while we were waiting in one of our lines there today with Chris, because I'm like, I want to talk about this with you. Go ahead.
Yep, there's a nice story here because I'm back into World's Finest. This is after the Imp Dimension, whatever battle that was going on.
Right.
And here I think they try and describe the first meeting of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I guess the DC Trinity.
Yeah.
And I guess there was some sort of incident on Themyscira, and Wonder Woman calls in Batman and Superman to come and help. And then whatever, I don't want to say hilarity ensues, but, action follows that. There's a dead Amazonian that's been kind of locked in a room by herself. And I don't know if this is a great idea for Wonder Woman. She basically put everybody, all the Amazon sisters, she wrapped them up in the lasso and basically said, "You did this?" No. And they had no idea.
And they're pissed off at her because she let men into.
Yeah. So once she couldn't figure it out, she calls in the help. And then there's a contingent of the Amazons that aren't happy that they have men on the that they've invited men on the island. And of course, Robin has been trailing there with Batman. And so that leads to some fun scenes there with Robin kind of being a younger teenager there, and a
horny teenager.
Stuck on the island there. So, I guess he's they kind of show him around the island, not life.
Yeah, but Batman says a line to him at the start of the issue where they're like flying into Amazonia. He's like, "Hey, listen, I had to call in a favor to bring you along with me on this mission." He's like, "So it's full of Amazons, like all these women?" And he's like, "Hey, calm down there." He's like, basically says like, "You better, take it easy and behave yourself because I almost didn't bring you, and I had to like call in a favor with Superman to be able to let you come and or whatever, right?" Because I guess he knew Wonder Woman, so it's like a whole thing that they're allowing the world's greatest detective to come in there, a man, and show them like what's what and try to like figure this out for them. And of course, if he's gonna come through, he's gonna start pointing fingers, right? Because he's got to figure it out. Who's responsible for this, right?
Yeah, it was almost a bit of like a Sherlock Holmes thing there.
Yeah.
If nobody did it, then it didn't happen, and then that basically turns out to be the case. I think there was I guess that person that died was, I don't know, plotting for years or something. It turned out to be some demigods,
Prometheus and somebody else or something. They're saying
they steal Prometheus fire.
Yeah.
And then Superman tries them, but they end up battling, and they end up with the upper hand, and and then they're all friends after.
Also, you had told me about, you talked to me about this. We should mention the fact that there's a new artist on the series now that Dan Mora has left, this Gleb Melkinov, who's kind of like, I feel like stylistically, I said I maybe closest to maybe like a Greg Capullo artist, but definitely has his own style as well. But there's certain aspects I feel like you can see some Capullo in his pencils, and some of the character work. But yeah, you quite like the art on this one as well.
I thought the art was decent, didn't take me out of the story, and I thought it was a good replacement for Dan Mora.
Absolutely, which is high praise, because that's a guy, it's all right, that's hard to replace, right? And as we know now, he's going to be doing the Justice League book after Absolute Power with Mark Waid, and it looks like Mark Waid has got the shackles on him, like he's not letting him go anywhere, right? Yeah. He's strictly doing Mark Waid books now. So just like he kind of he kept doing books with Chris Samnee from Marvel as well after he's moved on with it.
It looks like Mark Waid's plate is filling up though. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Well, he's doing
a lot.
He's doing that Batman and Superman, Batman Year One, or Batman and Robin Year One, and he's doing that with Chris Samnee. So like this guy works with some good artists because he's a seasoned vet, let's say, and he's been doing a lot of good stuff over at DC, I will say. But yeah, this was a nice welcome surprise to have him on art. I thought he looked really good in this issue. So yeah, it was good stuff. What'd you give this?
Yeah, I give it 3.75. I like the story.
Yeah, same. Good stuff. Good, nice one and done too. Actually, if you want to get back into Batman Superman World's Finest, you can jump in with this issue, because now that Dan Mora left the book, it looks like they're resetting the stage, and the Eclipso storyline is next,
I might be out of this Eclipso story.
Yeah. So next up, we got Wonder Woman number 12. We got this cover here. You got the beach bikini one there, the summer, summer loving, summer variant. She looks kind of like a hippie on that one. Yeah,
I just going for a swing there. I think her hair got caught in the wind somehow, or maybe she's swinging backwards where hers coming forward.
She's got braids. Oh no, her she doesn't have braids. Her bikini is kind of like braided or something like that. Yeah. What'd you think of this?
Wow. I don't know. It just felt like they're spinning their wheels. They spent a lot of time in this here for the same story. Basically, got Wonder Woman.
It is an Absolute Power tie-in, though. Yeah. If you're gonna say it's filler, it's kind of doing its job in that regard. Like it is.
Yeah, it is filler.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time filling the same story.
Like Tony Daniel and art.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the art.
The art was great. Yeah.
But basically, they have Wonder Woman and Damian. They got Captain Boomerang as a prisoner, and they're trying to get some info out of them where they're keeping all the heroes. And basically, Damian's, I guess Wonder Woman's trying to teach Damian there, and
right.
Damian thinks he knows best and goes, trying to give him the Batman moves. And I think the idea is that
Wonder Woman's trying to get him to confess, give them up the secrets with love, or like in a more like less brutal way. And he's like, no, we have to torture this guy to get what we want.
But it is funny that Wonder Woman ends up fucking beating the crap out of him 2 or 3 times.
He makes a comment. He's like, I just want to point out he's way more beat up after you deal with him than when I deal with him. And, but throughout the issue, he continuously is hanging him over sharks. Yeah.
So we're like, they each kind of get their
It's kind of fun. It's fun.
It was okay.
It's a fun setup. Yeah. I hear it.
I like that Captain Boomerang wasn't giving up anything the whole time. You think he gets close, he's like, screw you. Fuck you.
He literally he's like, you bitch, when they take it out with all the different aspects and stuff like that.
But then at the end he just spills the bean accidentally.
That's right. You think I'm gonna tell you that he's hiding over in this area or whatever? You're like, and they're like,
and up until that point, I thought I was kind of enjoying the issue, and then he kind of spills the beans by accident. Like, come on, you couldn't figure out some way to.
Oh, I still thought it was fun. I think for a one-shot issue where probably for this tie-in, like it's not essential, it's not pushing the plot forward really all that much. All it is going to tell you is that these two now have an idea of where to go. And if you read the last Absolute Power issue, in that issue, there is a point where Damian goes over to Wonder Woman and she's like, oh, let's team up, we'll go looking for this or whatever. And then clearly this is where they go off to. They get a hold of Captain Boomerang, they get the information of where to go off next. So if I had to guess, next Absolute Power issue, they're going to be wherever he had spilt the beans on in this issue. They're probably going to already be over.
But where's the Sovereign? Why isn't the Sovereign involved in all this? He's supposed to be the big bad here, and all of a sudden he dips out.
I like the Rogues. I like the Flash's Rogues gallery. The Rogues. I like Captain Boomerang. I really like the scene with him and his son, where they brought his son to go like make up with them, and he's like, "Oh, why are you doing this anyways?" He's like, "Oh, they forced me to." And he's like, "What? You don't want to be here saying hello to me or whatever." He's like, "What have I seen you? I haven't seen you for years." And they just get into a fight. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, the fact that it was fun and it had Tony Daniel on art, I actually quite like this issue. The more I'm talking about it, I'm realizing it was. When I first was reading it, I wasn't so sure, but by the end of it, I actually quite enjoyed it. I feel like, and there's a one off, and there's also a nice moment where like he's like, "Oh, you know what it feels like." He gets all sad because he's like the expectations are so high for him because he's Batman's son. She's like, "I'm literally the daughter of a god, right?" Like she's like, so like it's the same for me. So I kind of like that too. And you know what? These backups, they keep getting better too, Chris. Did you like the backup in this one, the Trinity stuff? I like this. The one they're in space and they're stuck with each other, they're driving each other crazy. That's some fun stuff. I actually think those.
It is some good comic relief there.
Yeah, I didn't like a lot of the first few stories that he did of this when she was really young.
Yeah.
But now that she's getting older, they all like are just driving each other nuts. I kind of really like the dynamic that he has in the stories now. Because when she was younger, I feel like it was very cutesy. We're like, oh, we're babysitting her. And like now they're like, she's a little older. They're like in their 20s and she's like a teenager and like they just can't stand one another. It seems like
they're stuck for what 70 days or something.
And she keeps making a comment about how Damien's suit he hasn't washed it once from being on the spaceship, and then they beat Mongul and they take him out like one punch. They're like, oh, I guess we got to go home now. They're like, it's actually even longer to get home now. They're like, it's gonna be 90 days instead of 70 days. And they're like, maybe we can wake him up and ask him some more questions because they're like so sick of like being with each other in close quarters. Yeah, it was charming. I liked it. It was good. It's delightful, Chris. A little delightful.
Sorry. I wouldn't read these on purpose, but I'm glad I'm reading them. It's good stuff.
That's what I mean. Yeah, and they've gotten better. I agree. I did find them cheesy the first few that they did, but as it's gone on, I've actually quite liked the backup stories now. So also written by Tom King, which is worth mentioning because usually they put some like other random person on these, and sometimes they're not good.
Well, from what I hear, there's going to be like some sort of Trinity book that's coming.
Of these characters,
yeah, but somehow,
I'm not surprised if that's the case.
Somehow they're all going to interact with each other as a young Trinity, the teenage Trinity, and an older Trinity, sort of all. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know.
That sounded a little crazy.
I don't know about that. Yeah,
that's a little too much here. I'm just enjoying what we got here.
This old DC, everything matters, everything counts. Screw continuity. Oh, by the way, we also now have our own Ultimate Universe books. And they're going to talk to each other. These books. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with DC anymore with the continuity. It's very screwy. Always has been. What'd you give this?
I'll give it a 3.75. I've just been enjoying the main Wonder Woman story, and once again, I hate seeing these stories get hijacked by whatever the big events
tie-ins. Yeah, I'll give this a 4. I enjoyed this. All right, and then lastly, we have Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. I got the variant cover here by Lee Garbett. I quite like this. It's got like the silhouette of the Kingpin in the background. Nice. Also, I noticed this. I don't know if you noticed this, if you got any this week. Looks like Marvel is also putting the cover on the inside now.
Oh, shoot. I didn't see
that. If you don't get the main cover, at least on this, they put I picked up the variant. The main cover was on the inside, which I don't know if I've seen that before.
I don't think so. No.
I think this is new because normally they would have an ad or something there. But in this one, they actually took the time to put the main cover, which this one is, on the inside. So that's pretty cool. So I hope they continue doing that if that's a thing, because that's hold on, I have Namor here. Did that happen in Namor? Because I also got a variant on that. I don't know if it's like an Ultimate Spider-Man thing or what happened. Hold on. I'll tell you right now. No, this is an ad. So I mean, hopefully they continue to do this, though. I don't know if that's just like, that was not one they had planned to do it for, but I hope they continue to do that. Like DC, you know what I mean? Like,
DC is still on the second page.
Yeah. But still, if you're gonna do it, then I'm okay with that too.
Put that there. They put that other spread page on the back there. But anyways,
what you think of this?
Once again, not my favorite issue, because this is another series that I've been really enjoying, and I think they just spent too much time introducing the Sinister Six, or the new Sinister Six. I understand you got to get the backstory in, but sometimes you just drop these people in there and get them to fight. I was just happy to just read about what's going on with Peter Parker and his life here, and I wish there was more of that.
I like the Sinister Six stuff. I liked how they there's actually a lot of different things happening now in the story. I think as slow as the series has been, I would disagree with you. I think there's about 3 or 4 different plots going on in this issue. I actually think he's got a few different things going on now. He's talking to this ball that's talking to him in the voice. That's like it's I don't know. This is
your red flag.
This is like a Venom, this suit, I think. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. It is now talking to him. I think this black ball that's supposed to be his suit, not when he's wearing it, now that he's activated this like AI in it, I think it's technically this world's version of a Venom of some sort, because like, again, it's black, it's got black text bubbles, it's
that little smile,
right? Yeah, there's a smile on it. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I think that's Venom. Yeah, I think that's Venom. So I don't know what that's all about. But again, if it is Venom, didn't see that coming, if that's what it turns out to be. So that's very interesting. Then you got the whole scenes with Iron Lad, which we've been seeing in the Ultimates book, now shows up in this book, has a problem with Harry Osborn. He's like, there's a whole discussion about a list of people, and Peter Parker was at the top of that list of the people that were important to the future of this new universe. And Harry Osborn's like, by the way, he also stole his father's suit that he had in his lab, Tony Stark's lab, which is the Goblin suit. And he's just like, oh yeah, you stole that. They stole that suit there. It's okay. You can continue to wear it. That's fine for now. And he's like, oh, by the way, where was I on the list, Harry Osborn? He's like, you weren't on it. And he just like pieces out. I'm just like, ooh, he's so bad, which again could lead to a Green Goblin scenario, right? So like there is things festering in the mix here right now that I'm really excited for the potential of. Like you said, we'll see if these things follow through, but I'm really excited for that stuff. And then you have some newspaper stuff. J. Jonah Jameson asks Peter to come work for them. Him and his uncle Ben asked him to come work for him. And he's like, I got to speak to Mary Jane about this, because like, he's like, I have a pension. I have like all this great stuff over at the newspaper. You're a startup. He's like, I have a family. I don't know about this. Right. So yeah, I like all the plots going on. I mean, that Sinister Six thing, because it came at the end of the issue, wasn't even the most interesting thing of the issue for me, quite frankly. Like, to your point, like, I don't think it's interesting. I like how they said like the Sinister Six is made up of the 5 boroughs plus the underground, which is Mole Man, which we've never seen in a Sinister Six type scenario, right? So clearly, I enjoyed this more. I'm still loving this book. I don't know.
I'm loving the book. Yeah. I just want more.
This is an off issue. Okay, all right. I just said there's 4 plots happening in this
4
issue.
plots. There's like 1 page on each freaking of those plots.
All right, what'd you give this?
I'll give it 3.75.
4. 4.25, actually. I did enjoy it. All right. That's what we wanted to talk about that we read this week, that we actually got around to reading. There's other things we probably are going to have to catch up on, but it was a con week, folks. So there you go. That's what we had this week. So before we get to what there's a couple other things to talk about before we get to our favorites of the week and what we're looking forward to next week. Should we talk about con stuff first?
Yeah, sure. We got some con halls here.
Yeah,
expo halls.
So first off, we went to Fan Expo in Toronto. This is Chris's first time at the con. What'd you think of it, Chris?
Yeah, it was a good time there. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of comics there, if that's your thing. And it was my thing, so I picked up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I also picked up some stuff, picked up some art as per usual, which is kind of my main thing that I really enjoy at the cons. And yeah, it was fun hanging out with Chris at the con. It was a lot of fun. We went for 2 days, Thursday and Friday. I actually every year I usually work the con as well, so I'll be working the rest of the weekend now, trying to, I guess, make back some of the money I spent on the con floor. But it's good to get a good mix like that. But yeah, Chris was able to come with me and Christine there. We went to the con, and yeah, it was it was a really fun time. And we kind of did a mix of everything. Walked the floor. We went to Artist Alley as I picked up some art. Chris kind of saw what Artist Alley is all about. And today, which was really fun, we kind of went to check out some sketch duels like they do at Fan Expo, which is where like a bunch of artists, they field questions from the crowd and they draw different characters that are suggested by them or from the crowd. And at the end of it, they raffle off the commissions, the drawings to folks in the crowd. Unfortunately, none of us won anything this time around, but it was really fun. We got to see a lot of like more like I wouldn't say less established artists. They're working artists in the business, but maybe not as big household names at one panel for the Sketchelmania. Chris's boy Tony Moy one. It's his boy now. He's followed him on Instagram. Yeah. There's a thing with 4 of those artists. It's something called Sketchelmania, where it's kind of like a riff on the WrestleMania, and it's about a bunch of artists, and they have an award that they give out, and they talk trash to one another. So it was kind of fun, even though they're all friends. And the reigning champ from last year, an artist, Mike Ruth, who I'm a fan of, unfortunately he didn't take it home back to back this year. He lost to another artist who they all drew Dr. Doom, but he banged out a really nice watercolor Dr. Doom that beat his, and it was based on crowd reaction, which he got the most for. Artist Tony Moy, who I think is
I didn't see the live stream on his Instagram. Tony Moy.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely check them out. And Mike Ruth was Uncouth Ruth on Instagram, so definitely check those guys out, their work. And I think they're both local artists. I know Mike Ruth is, and I think Tony Moy, he might be too. I'm not positive on that, but actually him I'm not positive at all. I know Mike Ruth is, though. He's local. So yeah, really cool though. It was a lot of fun to see them kind of do different versions of Dr. Doom for the crowd there. So that was really cool. And yeah, I know Chris's boy now is Tony Moy.
He's my guy.
Chris went against who I thought was the best artist in all this, was my boy Mike Ruth. But yeah, I was cheering most
Tony the Demon Slayer, the King Slayer.
But yeah, we've had some fun. We've been cracking jokes about that all day. I just keep calling him Chris's boy, Tony Boy over there. So, but that was a lot of fun. And then we actually got to see the whole Art Germ crew was in attendance, which I didn't even know they were a whole crew. They're all from Singapore, which are like the new, not new, the last few years of the very popular variant cover artists that have been putting out stuff through Marvel and DC. I mean, we've showed off a lot of nice Art Germ covers here on the channel. Me and Chris both have a bunch, and as well as some of the other artists that were with him, Derek True.
Yeah, Derek True, Arajuki.
Yeah, and
I forget what the fourth
Kendrick something. Yeah. I have his name here. I have it actually here. Kendrick. Yeah, Edric we Kayat. That's a Ejru. Is that how you say his name? Yeah. And then there's Derek Chu and Kendrick Lim, Kunka Lim. Yeah. And then you got Stanley Art Germ Lau. Art Germ's just like his,
there's another one there that was at the con, but I'm surprised that she wasn't with
Lyrics. Yeah, she was done some great covers. Yeah, I don't know why she I don't know.
I think she's part of that.
Is she part of the studio too? Okay, they're all from Singapore. And the last few years, they've been blowing up in terms of like the variant covers. They've been doing like a lot of pretty lady type covers, like the cheesecakey covers and stuff. But great covers nonetheless. And like they were all on a panel together drawing for the crowd the same way like we just talked about the last one. That was a lot of fun too, just to kind of get an insight into kind of how they started out and how it's a little bit different, how they came up through video game animation and manga and all this other stuff. And now they're working for the big 2 companies putting out these variant covers, right? So that was really interesting. And then what else we did? We just went around, shopped a bit, and kind of walked the con floor, ate a bunch of those nerd gummy candies that you were giving out.
You want some of those squishies or whatever?
Oh, yeah, Squishmallows. Yeah, Christine went and want some Squishmallows. And yeah, we'll show off our hauls here. We got some art. But yeah, a lot of fun. Seeing a lot of people, went to the other building. We saw some of the stars. There was the Trailer Park Boys were in attendance. And
some of the Letterkenny people.
Letterkenny, yeah.
Oh, what's that? Mr. Peterman?
Yeah.
Soup
Nazi from Seinfeld. They were there. There's a bunch of different stars. Josh Gad was there. So yeah, we kind of were walking around the building with all the stars that do the photo ops and the signings and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff going on. So too much, like you can't see or experience it all, but you kind of got to focus on the things you're most interested in, which we certainly did. Walked the con floor and bought some great stuff. So yeah, show off some of the hauls here of things we got. You want to go first there, Chris?
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess we got some Ghost Machine here. The Ghost Machine had a table set up. They're giving out some of their #1 copies here, and
Jeff Johns was there. That was cool. That was my first time ever meeting Jeff Johns.
Yeah, the whole team was out there ready to sign it up.
Yeah.
And I'll just go through here some of the back issues. There's some cheapo back issues you got Batman 98 with I don't even know who did this cover. It's probably one crew. And there's some con exclusives. You got a Venom 150. Yeah, I'm a sucker for the Mary Jane Spider-Man Heart t-shirt. I saw some Some of the Amazing Spider-Man One More Day, well, $4 a piece. That's basically cover price.
Yeah, just Joe Quesada covers.
Yeah, I think that's 1 and 4 of it. Yeah, here we got an Art Germ exclusive Rogue. That's not too bad there.
Yeah,
she's cooking.
Yep.
Yeah, another Art Germ here I found out on the path out in the boxes.
Yeah, it's a
magic
good one.
cover.
That's a good one.
Can't go wrong.
That was one of the moments where Chris is like, I was like, okay, it's okay, Chris, you can take it. He's like, I don't know, you had your eye on it too. I gave up for that one. I was like, all right, no, go for it, man. You go for it. I was one. I was I was almost gonna take.
If you wanted, I got a lot
no,
of
get out of here, get out of here. No. I gave it up.
And then here we got I think like a 1 in 25 incentive I saw out there with the jackpot and
Dan
Black Cat.
Dan Panosian.
Yeah, you know, they got the big terms there. Face the Tiger, you hit the jackpot. Can't go wrong with that. And, you know, some Canadian content there. I think it's Jamie Tydell or something like that.
The guy at the booth that Chris wasn't sure was the artist.
He was the artist. Well, who does an artist buy his own booth there? What would he be an artist alley? But
I thought for a second he was always just selling these issues because there was a couple guys at the booth.
Yeah.
For 1 second, it was just like, oh, is this guy just signing on his book? Is he the artist or what's going on? We didn't know if it was the vendor signing it.
All right, he signed it anyways. Still a good cover.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah.
And just some more back issues here. Is a Villa Lobos cover, I think, here with the Black Cat. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
Got my boy Land.
Yeah, Greg Land.
Well, Mary Jane. You know, there. Can't go. I'll suck for the Mary Jane covers.
And save the best for last here. Here we go. Here we go.
And then we got another J. Scott Campbell from back in a while ago there.
Let's push it over a bit more on screen there. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay, there
That's the money shot.
Yeah, you know, there it's
yeah,
hanging out.
And
one of my Trinity here covers. The first of my Trinity I got. What's this?
J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, J. Scott Campbell, 606. You know, boy, I'm covering Mary Jane there. She's seeing Peter Parker and Black Cat, you know, sharing a smooch, and
yeah.
She's very surprised in the background. I imagine it has nothing to do with what goes on in this comic, but it's still a great cover.
You know who wrote that? Joe Kelly.
Oh, nice.
The new writer of Spider-Man.
We'll find out.
And there you go.
Judgment.
That's your haul, eh? Yeah, good haul. Some great covers there you picked up. Yeah, no, I'm so happy you found one of the three you set out to find there. Well, we saw all of them, but the other one was a little pricey. I feel like some people were overcharging for one of those, but you got a pretty good deal on that one.
That one was nice.
Yeah. Which is you literally found as soon as we walk into the show.
First thing I saw, boom. There it is.
Which is great that you snapped it up because that wouldn't have lasted. I honestly feel like the fact that you got that right there and right then was smart on your part. Yeah. All right. So what I got here. So yeah, I got the Ashcan edition of the Ghost Machine preview, signed by all the creators as well, like Chris had mentioned. Again, really cool to talk with Jeff Johns. It's the first time I ever met him. Francis Manapul, Peter Tomasi, and Jason Fabok were also there, the artists of some of the Ghost Machine books and writers. I've met them all before, but it was really cool to meet Jeff Johnson. I've never met him at that show before, so that was really cool. And I got some Punisher issues. I'm trying to string together a whole run of the original Punisher series and Punisher War Journal. So I bought a few different Punisher issues here. I actually got them for cheaper than that's on the sticker because they were from a discounted bin. So that was really cool. Picked up a couple dollar books. Got an issue of Hex here, which is a weird Jonah Hex series where he travels to the future, I think is the premise of this one. I only read a couple issues a long time ago, but I actually liked it. And it's not reprinted anywhere in any trade paperbacks, so I've been picking them up when I see them. There's only 18 issues in this run, and I see them for $1, so I pick them up when I see them for $1 or $2, so they're cheap. Got this great Marvel fanfare issue number 40. This has a story that's a David Mazzucchelli drawn story who did like Daredevil Born Again and stuff like that. This is like, I guess this Marvel fanfare, this is like stock stories that they had. They were just in a drawer that they got people to do so they can like put out at some point. And they ended up in this series called Marvel Fanfare. Got this Lando issue as a free issue on the floor. I don't know. They were giving out free issues at one booth. So there you go. So a couple more Punishers here that I picked up. Kingpin on the cover of this one. And as Chris showed already, this is the Uncanny X-Men Art Germ variant cover, which was a Fan Expo exclusive. Picked this one up. It's that Rogue with that ass on this one. Yeah, you know, which is a big complaint of her apparently on the whole animated series, the new one that came out. So I believe that he made this cover just to, you know, stick it to people that were complaining about it. I guess I don't know what the intentions were there. I got that Ghost Machine issue that Chris had said he got signed here, signed by all the creators as well. So I got that and the Ashcan. Picked up this Silver Surfer Epic collection. This is an out of print Epic collection that I was looking for. A vendor had it there, so that was cool to grab. I got Diablo Legends of the Necromancer Rathma, which is a graphic novel based on the Diablo video game, which I'm a fan of. And it's about the Necromancer character, drawn by Adam Gorham, who's a great artist, written by Fred Kennedy. And I did want to show off this first page of the book. Really cool first page there, which I saw the originals of. That was really cool. Oh,
might have a line on it. Maybe not.
And I got some art here. Got some commission art here. Those are all my hauls of the comics and stuff I picked up. So I have a Doctor Strange sketchbook, and I got a Doctor Strange sketch here at the show by Drew Craig. You see that on the screen there? Good.
Yeah, it looks good, but you got to see that. Well, I guess you're not going to see this live, but that's a nice one.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to put it up on. There we go. Hold on. There we go. I'll try to put it up on full screen. Yeah, I do have to see it live in person for sure to appreciate it, but that's not doing it justice. It's really sick. It's a really sick commission of Doctor Strange. Drew Craig did, who's Wes Craig's brother, who also did an image book. I think it's called Starstorm, his image book that he did. But yeah, I got Wes Craig in the last entry I got in it last year at Fan Expo, and I saw he was at the show this year. And you know, thought I'd throw out the challenge, a little sibling rivalry there, back to back in the sketchbook. So I was happy to add him to the book, and he killed it. He did a great job on the Doctor Strange. So I was really happy to add him to the book, and thank you to Drew Craig. And so he's an up and coming artist. Definitely check out his book. I think it's still Starstorm that comes through Image Comics. I really like his stuff. I've seen it on Instagram before. You can follow him on Instagram as well. Drew Craig is the artist's name. And two more pieces. All right. This one's a little bigger. This is Manji from the manga Blade of the Immortal, which I'm a big fan of. Good samurai manga. And great big painted piece by Kagan McLeod. He just recently, I guess, worked on did the sequel to his other Captera miniseries with Chip Zdarsky last year. So he also did a book years ago called Infinite Kung Fu, which was like a whole book of like Kung Fu fighting, like Bruce Lee style type stuff and ninja stuff. So like, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get him to do like the samurai commission for me. So I was really happy, and he knew of Blade of the Immortal, so he did that for me. And my piece de la resistance, or whatever the hell they say. What is that? How it goes, Chris? I don't know.
This is money shot.
There you go. They're all great pieces, though. I like them all, but this is the Nick Bradshaw Old Man Logan commission here. Really cool. So I asked for an Old Man Logan in the duster and hat, which you do see in Old Man Logan by Steve McNiven, who was also at the show, but we can't afford art from him. But Nick Bradshaw, great artist. I've gotten art from him other times over the years, but this is like probably the biggest, like most expensive piece I've gotten from him. I love his stuff. Also a Canadian artist. Great stuff. So yeah, really happy to add that to my collection. Just got to find a spot to hang it now, but I have a bunch of different Wolverines. I didn't have an Old Man Logan. I was looking for someone to do the Old Man Logan. I thought that he would fit the bill, and he knocked this right out of the park. Great stuff. Really happy to add this to the collection. So yeah, good stuff. Good fun time. I was happy Chris was able to join me this year. Now, hopefully it's not the last time. Hopefully he'll be able to join me again. But yeah, good stuff. Make sure to go check out a con that's local to you guys. Support your creators, meet some people, talk to some people.
No, don't talk to them.
Be like Chris, just walk off mid conversation.
Let them be. They're busy.
Listen, it's fun to conversate with creators' work that you enjoy. Okay, you can get something out of the conversation. A nice conversation, Chris.
No way.
All right, so that's gonna do it for our hauls for the con. Let's take a look at some new comic solicitations. But yeah, anything else you want to say about Comic Con? How about any tips? Because this is your first anything you've learned from your first Comic Con experience? Because I mean, I could give some out, but I've gone a bunch of times, and maybe I've forgotten about some of the things that anything to avoid, anything to look forward to.
Yeah, wear good shoes. You get your steps in, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good tip. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a lot of freaking. It's not like quick walking. It's just like slowly shuffling around. You kind of got to go with the flow of the people there. But it's a good time. It's definitely worth it.
There you go. All right, so do comic solicitations for November 2024. I know. Sorry indoors, Chris. I know you usually light a smoke during this time.
Where's my vape?
All right, so this is Marvel's November 2024 solicitations off of comicreleases.com, and no solicitation with them. They just do a good job of compiling them. So let's take a look at what they have this month. All right, let's talk about some of the things that we're looking forward to picking up. Let's see here.
I don't know. Looking at that title there, looks like a comic I wasn't planning to pick up. I might be, but we'll see.
This one here?
I don't know. We'll see.
Amazing Spider-Man number 61.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm picking that up for sure.
This is Dr. Doom, Joe Kelly taking over. This is the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man storyline. What cover, though? That's actually a pretty fun Scotty Young one. I gotta say, I gotta go with this one.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah,
okay,
Ed McGuinness. Ed McGuinness is still doing the interiors on this, so that's good.
Yep.
And looks like Gleb Melkinov did one of the variants here. I don't see it. This isn't him. Did he do this? I don't know. Yeah, he did one of the variants, it says here. But anyways, yeah, they don't always have all the covers updated on this. That's the one thing I'll say. And then Amazing Spider-Man 62. Yep, we're continuing here. Oh, that's cool. What's going on there? New suit?
New suit. Dr. Doom gives him powers.
Okay, very cool. All right. Yeah, so we'll be picking that up. Aliens versus Avengers. Yes. Are you in on this?
I don't know.
Okay.
No.
I'm in on this.
I'll probably read it.
Oh, man. That's a sick cover. Oh, who did the Andrea Sorrentino? He's the newest artist being not the newest, but a while ago he was under fire. They were accusing him of doing the AI stuff now. So I don't know. That's a pretty sick cover, though. I mean, I've really liked his stuff. He's worked with Jeff Lemire a lot over the years, but
he knows his prompts.
Hey, you stole that joke from today. All right, West Coast Avengers #1. Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting this just because of a cover, though.
Which, this one?
Not that one.
Oh. Adam Hughes one?
Oof. Maybe.
This one?
Perhaps.
Some good ones.
That's some good ones. No, I didn't know. I was just going to go for that Spider-Man one, but that Firestar one, it's not bad either. And this might be good, too, with Ultron in the back in the mix.
It's Jerry Duggan. He has Iron Man on the team. He even hinted at the end of his Iron Man run about this West Coast Avengers being a thing. I'm in. I mean, I missed the boat on Iron Man. That this is I do like the characters on this team. I don't know what the hell Ultron's doing on there. I think that's weird, but I like Jerry Duggan a lot. So actually, he was also at the show. I didn't see him at his table, at least the times that we walked by. I would have loved to talk to him about this, but maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll hear something about it soon. But yeah, I'm out on Iron Man though with this new writer Spencer Ackerman. I'm not going to be checking this out, but I'll follow Duggan off of his run onto the West Coast Avengers, though. That sounds good to me. Blade Red Band #2. No. Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu #2. No. I might read it online. I have been liking Jed McKay stuff. I've been picking it up in trade, but I know I just read the last miniseries in digitally. Some good covers. Kahori Reshaper of Worlds #1. The breakout character from the Disney What If show makes your comics debut. Okay. I'm not so much interested in this, but that's cool. They're doing some new characters. Marvel and Disney What If mini became Captain Marvel #1. No, I'm out on this. They've got me for the last couple, but I don't care about mini and I don't care about Captain Marvel like that in this respect. So I'm out on this one. Incredible Hulk #19. No. You know, the other one was like, what if Donald Duck became Wolverine? So I'm like, okay, but I'm like, oh, Minnie and Captain Marvel, I'm good on that one. Wolverine 3. Yes.
I don't know.
I'm in for the first few issues.
Yeah, I guess so.
Come on, Saladino Ahmed. There we go. Speaking of Art Germ, Psylocke #1.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on buying this, but what can you do?
There's the Art Germ cover. Definitely going to be picking that up. Yeah, I'm picking this up. I like Psylocke a lot.
They're all nice covers.
Great character, good cover. What's not to like? I'm picking this up. X Factor #4. I know Chris isn't getting
I'm not.
After he slammed the book last week. Oh man, look at that great Greg Land cover, Chris. You need to get this. Yeah, I'm in on this all the way. I love the first issue. I gave it a 5 and was my favorite of the week. Storm #2. No. Mystique #2.
No.
Yes. I'm picking this up. Hope it's fun.
I don't know, man.
I like Declan Shalvey, so I'm picking it up for him. Sentinels #2. No. Oh, Justin Mason's doing the interiors on this book, though?
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting. This might be a sleeper hit. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know about the Sentinel.
Some of these like side books though are fun sometimes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like outside of like the big things that are happening, right? Dazzler #3. No. Good covers though. X-Force 5. No, I'm out on this. I think I have one more issue pre-ordered, but I'm out on this book.
Yeah, what are they chasing down those freaking anomalies with the ball or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Exceptional X-Men #3. Has the first issue even come out of this yet? I don't think it has it?
Yeah, well, I wasn't in it.
We didn't talk about it. I know that. Maybe it came out.
If I read it, if it did come out.
I mean, I want to like a team that has like
I don't think it's been out because wasn't she supposed to be like the barista?
I don't think it's come out yet. I don't think it's come out because I feel like we would have talked about it.
Yeah.
I didn't order it, but I read it digitally. Emma Frost. I mean, I love Emma Frost. So like the fact that she's the leader of this team, but it's also the young X-Men team. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm out I'll read the first issue. If it hooks me, I'll continue reading it. But like, I'm not beginning the issues. So I'm out on this. NYX, we both read the first issue. No, I'm good on that one. But again, you know, they're putting out some good covers here. Phoenix #5. No, we also read that. We're out on that one. Gail Simone and Uncanny X-Men #5. Yes, I think I'm still in on this for now.
Yeah, I'll probably be in here.
Yeah. Well, enough good things in the first issue to keep me going anyways. Uncanny X-Men #6 as well. Yeah. Oh, that's a good cut. Is that an Adam Hughes? Or is that Greg Land? No, that's Adam Hughes. There's the age. That's a good one. I'll get that.
Bad.
Yeah, I'm going to get that. Oh, that's also a good one, though. It's good covers. But I think I'm going to go with the Hughes. X-Men #7. Yes. Oh, different artist. Nephew Diaz. I don't know who the hell that is. Stegman already off the first arc. Yeah, no surprise. Oh, I don't know who that artist is.
I heard the podcast last time. Stegman's not for X-Men. Go ahead. That guy knows.
Yeah.
Let's get the new guy in.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead #1.
What?
You know, the character from the Deadpool movie. Who is a real character, but like, you know, she's basically known for the Deadpool movie. Yeah. So there you go. No. Venom War #4. Yeah, I'm going to continue reading it. Not going to pick it up, but I'm going to continue reading it. You're picking this up though, right?
No, not Venom War, but I'm picking Venom.
Okay.
That's a nice cover there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's been good though. It's been fun, the first issues. And #5, it ends this month there. Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a new suit.
You're not going to pick this issue up? Come on, man.
I may pick up 4 and 5.
Venom War Deadpool. No. Venom War Lethal Protectors #3. Is that Silver Sable?
Yeah, he's the Lethal Protector.
Instead of Venom now. He used to be Venom, right? Venom War. It's Jeff White. Oh, don't get me with one of the. Oh, come on.
101.
I know Christine's going to want this, so I'm probably going to end up getting it. Yeah. I mean, they're they're cutesy little comics. I mean, I'm not really that into them. She likes them. They're okay, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get that. Yeah. Well, Venom War Wolverine 3 of 3. I think I'm reading this digitally. The first issue hasn't come out yet, though.
No.
Yeah, so I'll read this.
I'm buying these ones.
Good team on it. Yeah, it's
That's
the
it.
team of Local Man. There you go. They're writing that one. Venom War Spider-Man. Yes,
Yeah.
your
I'm in.
favorite. Oh, look at that.
Ah.
You know that's a
What was each got?
wow.
What was that traced from?
That is a Greg Land porno scene if I've ever seen one. You know that's like a woman who spread in a porno that he just took that from, right?
Come on. Get your mind out of the gutter. She's falling.
Venom 39.
Yeah, I'm probably getting that. What the hell's Loki doing there?
Is that also him doing the cover? No, it's not. Oh, I don't know.
It's that goo.
Ah.
It just got gooed.
Oh man, Ultimate Universe. It's been a long day, guy. Ultimate Black Panther number 10. No. Ultimate Spider-Man 11. Listen, I still see Hickman's name on it, so I'm happy.
That's it.
Hey, what's going on here? Is this new Black Cat?
Yeah, well, Black Cat was introduced as part of the Sinister Six.
Was she in that scene?
No, not her. Her father.
Oh,
and then you saw the family.
That's right. That's right. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ultimate X-Men number 9. No. Ultimate 6.
Yep.
Yes. I'm still on board. Ooh, some good covers to this. Oh, is that Phil Noto? Yeah. That's a nice one. Might have to grab that one. Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, no. Yeah, that's an even better cover. If that's not like a 1 in 25, I think I'll go with that one. The Noto one's nice too, though. That's nice. That's a nice gatefold one or whatever wraparound. Werewolf by Night, Red Man number 4. No, but it is nice to see my girl there.
Yep.
I love her.
Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah, I think they're dating or something now. Those two, I don't know. There was talk about it in that special that came out, right? Or they had broken up or something like that. Yeah, Wolverine Revenge number 4 or 5. Yes.
Yeah.
Red Band, which is also this cover. It looks like, oh, he's got a beard there, old man beard. What's going on there? Yeah,
those are nice covers.
Yeah, but I think the Red Band is this one. Yeah, that one there. So it'll be bloody or whatever. Ultraman Avengers, no. Predator versus Black Panther. I didn't get to read that this week, but I'm only reading it digitally if I read it. But yeah, no, I'm not picking it up. Facsimiles, Spider-Man Homeroom Heroes number 2, no. Miles Morales, no. Spider-Man Reign 2 number 5, yes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah.
And not Red Band.
I know that's a crazy book. I don't know what's going on in that book. Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider number 7, no. Chasm, Curse of Cain, no. Spider Society, no. Spectacular Spider-Man, no. Number 9. Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood, no. Cool covers though.
Yeah. Any good writers or anything in this one?
I mean, David Michelini, who did like my favorite Spider-Man, that was back in the 90s, right? Bagley and all that. And G. Willow Wilson's an okay writer, but nothing where I would like, no. Kid Venom number 3. No. Oh, that's a Venom homage cover right there. The Remender Venom. Spider Boy 13. Remender did a great run on Venom back in the day too. He is actually when Flash Thompson was Venom.
Oh,
yeah, that was his. Avengers Assemble 3, no. Avengers 20. I might read it online. I don't know. Marvel Zombies, no. Are you picking this up?
No, I should though, but
Phases of the Moon Knight number 4, no. Spirits of Vengeance, no. Deadpool Team Up, no. Major X.
I almost want to get this Deadpool team up because that's the last time Liefeld's going to be in Marvel for a while.
Is that what he said?
That's what I hear.
I mean, yeah, it's always possible. Deadpool 8, no. Captain America 15, no. Immortal Thor, no. Scarlet Witch, no. Daredevil, no. Man, there's a lot of big titles we're not reading right now just because we're not liking them. Marvel needs to shake things up.
They got to get some writers, man.
Yeah, Blood Hunters 4, no. Conquest 2099, no. Yeah, a whole bunch of no's there. And then they were in Star Wars. And I mean, like, compared to DC's lists lately, we're not very interested in a lot of Marvel stuff right now. It's a shame. There's like really a handful of Marvel stuff going on that we're very interested in right now, and half of it's X-Men, and the other half is like Spider-Man stuff. Honestly, or sorry, like let's say, almost half, 40%, 40%. Then you got a 20% bunch of shit we don't care about, right? Maybe 5% of things out of there we like, but yeah, fuck, that's it for that.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for the Marvel comic solicitations for the month of November 2024 and what we are looking forward to picking up. Oh, also forgot to show this. I also got a Super Nintendo action figure controller, and I did get a video game as well for Super Nintendo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, which is a great fighting game from back in the day. I used to have. So yeah, need a new controller as well for my system. So there you have it. All right, Chris. What are you reading, checking out next week, my friend?
I gotta load that up here. Sorry.
No worries.
Forgot about that.
All right. Let's cheers to beers one more time, though.
Beer's to the empty con. Here.
Oh, man. I finished mine off then.
Okay, so that's the week of August 28th.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got Amazing Spider-Man 56. Was it X-Men 3? Probably read Fantastic Four 2. I'll probably try and read X-Force and NYX 2. Let's see what's going on with this Aliens versus Avengers. Looks like a lot of stuff I'm reading, but not a lot of stuff I'm buying. So that sounds good to me. Let's see. Oops. Let's see what's going on with DC. Ooh, not much at all again. I got Batman Off-World is supposed to come out. Looking the end of that.
We'll see. It's been delayed twice.
Oh, it looks like I'm not buying anything out of DC.
Really? Light week for you.
It's maybe a few months ago. I was trying to cut down and I succeeded.
There is a big slew of books coming out that we are getting. So yeah, I've been also trying to do that. So maybe you're seeing that.
Yeah, it could be a pretty light week for me.
Okay.
At least of what I'm buying, but I'll probably be reading it.
What do I got? Oh man, what the hell happened here? It's like a huge week for me. All right. Aliens versus Avengers #1. Amazing Spider-Man 56. This is cool. I got it's called Archie the Decision. It's a one-shot written by Tom King that he did. Like he did like a one-shot Archie that finally is supposed to answer the question, who does he go end up with, Betty or Veronica? So I picked that up just because it's kind of a fun
hustle.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tom King's writing an Archie comic. I figured I'd check it out. Batman Dark Age #5. Yeah, it's a bunch of things you don't read that I picked up here. Drawing Blood #5. Gotham City Sirens #4. Grommets #4, which has been great. Sacrificers 11, which you've dropped, I think now. These are things you can check out though to read.
Yeah.
TMNT Black, White, and Green #4. That's not been great. Universal Monsters Frankenstein #1 by Michael Walsh. Void Rivals 12, which has been great. X-Force 2, which I think this is the last pre-ordered issue I have. Man, I have a huge list here compared to you. X-Men #3, although there's a bunch here that are ending or I've also cut, so that goes to show you. X-Men #3, J. Scott Campbell, the Rogue cover on this one.
Yeah, definitely getting that.
And Zatanna Bringing Down the House #3, which is the Terry Dodson cover on that one, which looks really cool too. So yeah, that's my list, at least for stuff I'm picking up physically, and there's going to be some things digitally I read, I'm sure too. So there you go. That's what we'll be checking out next week.
Talk about some of the ones we missed this week too, like Local Man.
Yeah, maybe we will. Yeah, because there is some books that we do enjoy talking about that we didn't read this week. Yeah, there was Local Man. There was a couple other ones too, I feel like, that we were meant to read. They're not all coming to me right now, but I think there was Local Man and what was the other one? There was a couple other big ones. I ended up bringing Batman, Superman. Hold on. I'll tell you right now. Local Man, I think this week we missed reading. And
I think there's that Usagi Yojimbo.
I usually read that, yeah. I might talk about Predator versus Black Panther if it's worth talking about. I mean, listen, I feel like I didn't read Jenny Sparks, which is the new Tom King book. I might talk about that if I read it.
Yeah, if you give it a read, I think I did read it.
Right. So
Batman shows up in there.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it though. I think the other things that I didn't read, you ended up reading, talking about here. You talked about Superman, and you talked about
Was that Rook out this week?
Rook Exodus. I think that may have been last week, not this week. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so that's a couple other things might carry over next week too, especially like you said, if you have a small week, it might be worth talking about some of those things as well. So yeah, so look forward to next week, guys. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. This was good getting together, doing this in person again, and going to the con. It was a lot, a hell of a lot of fun the next couple of days. I'm going to be tired tomorrow, and I'm going to be working at the con, so that part always sucks, but it's also fun at the same time. I mean, it's kind of like the fun's over, but then also the fun's just beginning in another regard, right? It's a little bit different being on the other side of things, that you're at the booth working or at the con, but it's nice to chat with people coming to the booth, talking about comics, and it's all good stuff. So yeah, good stuff. All right, Chris, your favorite book of the week, my friend?
I don't know. I might have to give it The World's Finest. There's nothing really standing out to me this week.
I think I'm gonna have to give it to hold on. Where is it?
Oh, there's my Spider-Man number 8. Sorry. Did get it.
Surprise, surprise. Namor number 2. I have to give it to this. This is the most fun I had reading a comic this week. There were some other good contenders. Like I said, I liked Ultimate Spider-Man quite a bit this week. Even Wolverine Revenge was a good start. But yeah, I got to give it up to, and Wonder Woman was fun. Namor number 2, though, just because that had probably the best scene of the week for me in a comic, which is that the Crimson Swim. So that was a lot of fun. So good stuff. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode, and stay tuned. We'll see you guys again next week. And yeah, thanks again to Chris. It was a lot of fun, man. I'm glad you came out to the con here today, and it was a lot of fun. And maybe next year, you might see Comic Shop in attendance there as an official, like our own booth there, Chris. People could hear her come by and hear her hot takes on issues. You're like, I hate that shit.
I hate it. What do you think about this? It sucks. Next.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everyone. Thank you once again. We'll see you next time. Later.
All right, bye.